Hi students, in this lecture we are going to discuss about infrared spectroscopy. It is a kind of molecular spectroscopy. First we will see principle. IR spectra is produced by the absorption of energy by a molecule in the infrared region and the transition occurs between vibrational levels. So it is otherwise called as vibrational spectroscopy. Ranges of infrared spectroscopy. The range in the electromagnetic spectrum extending from 12,500 to 50 centimeter inverse is commonly referred to as infrared. It is further divided into three categories: near infrared, ordinary infrared, and far infrared. The near infrared starts from 12,500 and ends at 4,000 centimeter inverse. In the ordinary IR, the region is from 4,000 to 667 centimeter inverse. The far IR is from 667 to 50 centimeter inverse. So what is the origin of IR spectrum? Since the atoms and molecules are continuously vibrating, molecules are also vibrating. There are two main categories of fundamental vibrations of a molecule. One is stretching vibration. Here the first shows stretching vibration, the second shows bending vibration. During stretching, the distance between the atoms decreases and increases, but the bond angles remains unaltered. Yes, if you see here, during stretching, the distance between the atoms increases or decreases, but the bond angles are constant. The next is bending vibrations. During the bending vibration, the bond angle increases or decreases, but the bond distance remains unaltered. See, you can able to see from the second picture. Here, the bond angle increases or decreases, but the bond distance remains unaltered. The vibrational changes depend on the mass of the atoms and the spatial arrangements in the molecule. When IR light of same frequency is incident on the molecule, the energy is absorbed, resulting in increasing of amplitude of vibration. When the molecule returns from the excited state to the ground state, the absorbed energy is released as heat. Thus, every compound shows characteristic absorption bands in the IR region of the spectrum. The different functional groups produces easily recognizable band at definite positions in the IR spectral range from 12,500 to 50 centimeter inverse. So the next very important fingerprint region, the vibrational spectral region at 1400 to 700 centimeter inverse gives a very rich and intense absorption bands. This region is termed as fingerprint region. The region 4000 to 1430 centimeter inverse is known as groove frequency region. Then comes uses of fingerprint region. IR spectra are often characterized by molecular fingerprints which detect the presence of functional groups. Fingerprint region is also used to identify and characterize the molecules, just as fingerprint can be used to identify a person. The next comes types of stretching and bending vibrations. The number of fundamental normal vibrational modes of a molecule can be calculated as follows. There are two types in that. One is for nonlinear molecules and for linear molecules. For a nonlinear molecule containing n number of atoms, it has 3n minus 6 fundamental vibrational modes. If you take an example of methane and benzene, they too are nonlinear molecules. So we are applying 3n minus 6 formula and we can easily calculate the fundamental vibrational modes. So if you take methane, so here we have 5 atoms. So 3 into 5 minus 6, it is 9 fundamental vibrational modes. And if you take an example of benzene, it is 12 atoms. So 3 into 12 minus 6, it is 30 fundamental vibrational modes. Next, for linear molecules, if a linear molecule containing n number of atoms, it has to have 3n minus 6 fundamental vibrational modes. If you take an example of carbon dioxide, it is a linear molecule. So if we use 3n minus 5 formula, we can get 4 fundamental vibrational modes. Then coming to the instrumentation, first we will discuss about the radiation source. There are two types of source used in the IR spectroscopy. One is nichrome wire and the other one is Nernst Glover. When they are heated electrically at 1200 to 2000 degrees Celsius, they glow and produce IR radiation. The next is monochromator. It allows the light of the required wavelength to pass through but absorbs the light of other wavelengths also. Next is sample cells. The cell holding the test sample must be transparent to IR radiation. Next is detector. IR detector generally converts thermal radiant energy into electrical energy. There are many detectors that are used in this instrument. One is photoconductivity cell, thermocouple, pyroelectric detectors are used as detectors in IR spectroscopy. The next is detector. It records the signals coming out from the detector. Next we will see about the working of IR spectrometer. The radiation emitted by the source is split into two incidental beams having equal intensity. One of the beam passes through the sample and the other passes through the reference material. When the sample cell contains the sample, the half beam traveling through it becomes less intense. When the two half beams recombine, they produce an oscillating signal which is measured by the detector. The signal from the detector is passed into the recorder unit and it is recorded. So it is a simple block diagram of the IR spectrometer. So it is a source monochromator and there are two slits are available and it's one is passed to the sample and the other one is passed to the reference. After that, all the signals move into the detector and at last it moves to the recorder and we will able to see the graph. So next comes applications of IR spectroscopy. It's used to identify the compound. The IR spectrum of the compound is compared with that of the known compounds. From the resemblance of the true spectra, the nature of the compound can be established. Next is detection of functional groups. In a given environment, a certain functional group will absorb IR energy very nearly the same wavelength in all the molecules. So this is the best example. Next, we can able to test the purity of the sample with the help of this IR spectroscopy. We can also able to study the progress of a chemical reaction. The next is we can able to determine the shape and the symmetry of the molecule with the help of this IR spectroscopy, whether it is a linear molecule or it's a nonlinear molecule, we can easily able to determine. And it's used to study the tautomerism of the compound and it's also used in industries like determining the structure of the chemical compound and molecular weight and crystallinity. So from this IR position of various bands, we can able to determine the compound. So these are some of the functional groups and these are some of the wavelengths. From this we can able to determine the compounds. Thank you.